Welcome back to another episode of Shake the Room podcast. You know who I am, fly recruiter Keem, and I got my boy with me. What up, bro?
Motivator, baby. Hey, many are called, but few are chosen. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, y'all know why we here. You know what we came to do, but we got an awesome guest.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Many are called, but few are chosen.
That's an army slogan, bro.
I'm a Christian.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
I thought I seen that in a commercial, bro. Okay.
Not a Marine.
Okay, my bad.
I'm
Damn.
Army, yes, definitely. Let them know.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, chat, you better tap in.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, hey, chat. Here we go.
Chat, tap in, chat.
Yeah, tap in, chat.
Hey,
you know what time it is.
Today, we got an amazing guest, bro.
Amazing.
We sitting here with royalty.
Royalty.
You know what I'm
how
saying?
we got him in the building.
We got royalty
We got him
in the building,
man.
man.
For real.
Hey, we got
Hey.
the 29th Florida State Director.
Come on, man. Hold on. Say that again.
The 29th
Uh-huh.
Florida State
Director.
Director
In
in
the
the building.
Tonight.
He's right here.
Right here.
He's
Touch
right
him.
here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For
Hey.
Phi Beta Sigma, that
Yeah.
blue Phi.
You know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. This guy is the state director, but I didn't even know that. He never even told me. I just saw him in the back of the room just doing his thing, chilling, relaxing. I know he was a Sigma, but what's crazy was he been scouting us and understanding who we are. And I didn't even know the power that he had. Not because I need to know, but he's so humble, man. Let's welcome Mr. Daniel Smith to the chat, man.
Oh, man. I
Welcome,
appreciate
welcome,
y'all. I
Shake the Room
appreciate y'all,
podcast.
man.
You
Thank
blessing
y'all
our
for...
No, we honored. We honored. And the
I
conclave
appreciate
is
it.
next week. We
Man,
honored.
I'm ready for it to come
Let's
and
do
go.
it. I know. You ready to come and go, man? Let's
Yes,
talk
sir.
about it. Yeah, let's talk to the chat. What's
Tell
up,
the
chat?
chat about you. I know
Yeah.
you're an Air Force vet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Hey, I can go in the system and take y'all both out of blueprint. So y'all can take this will be y'all last day wearing blue.
I just say, so tell us a little backstory about you, humble beginnings and
Yes.
everything.
So real humble beginnings, man. I grew up in Bainbridge, Georgia, which is a country town. From there, joined the military in 2005, the Air Force, as y'all just said. But from there, man, just joined the Air Force. And then in 2010, I joined this wondrous band of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And we just been rocking and moving ever since then. I mean, it's just been a blessing to be able to sit here amongst you guys as the 29th state director for Phi Beta Sigma, just because I can't believe it's only been 28 other dudes before me.
Before you. Let's talk about that number, though. You know what I'm saying? Like God had a major plan for you, and to do it at your age. Like, I'm not going to tell your age, but I'm going to tell mine. I'm 40. I'll be 44 in July, and I know you're a little bit younger than me.
Damn.
And look what... You say that again.
Kevin
Chat,
Hart right there.
disregard what you just said, chat. Damn, because he's 30. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep my rhetoric down. These dudes are in their 30s still. I am,
Yeah.
but I look good though. You know what I'm saying? So don't chat. You already know what time it is.
Hey,
you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's that thing now, chat.
Yeah, chat. So we're very grateful just to even have you bless our platform
For sure.
and mentoring us. Right, we had a conversation. I was telling you about that. I don't allow a lot of men to come in my life and mentor me. And I think we're able to choose our mentors. You and Mr. Ali Braswell. Let's give it up to him. He's your
First vice
president. You know what I'm
great
saying?
dude, man.
He's a
For sure.
great dude, and he the reason why that we're wearing blue, you and him today. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
you guys could have denied the situation, but you guys saw our energy. You interviewed us before we even interviewed ourselves, and God is good. I appreciate
Always
that.
watching.
No, thank you. Always. And
Nah,
you
for
told me
real.
that, and I'm like, he has been there. And I think Keem saw one of the pictures. He's like, he's
Yo,
been
he's
there the whole
been
time.
here,
I said,
yeah.
yeah, the whole time.
Yeah,
The whole time.
And
I'm
now
like,
you stuck with us.
I'm like, who this
stuck.
cat coming in his uniform every time we doing something?
Yeah, who is
Like,
this?
he
Yeah.
always in this
Yeah.
uniform. He
Yeah.
don't never cover. I'm like, oh, he used that to get out of work.
Yeah.
He said, I gotta go do I gotta
Definitely.
go meet a recruit
Definitely
at this
doing
event
corporate
that's
stuff.
gonna be
Yes.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing
that's how
corporate
he
stuff.
do it.
Hey, he looked good in it though.
Paid
I
off.
think that's
Hey.
the new uniform. When did that uniform come out?
I think it came out like Don't Kill Me, Chat. I think it came out like 2 years ago.
Man,
something like
when he,
that.
Okay.
when he came,
Oh yeah, that's the universal
yes,
uniform.
right.
Yeah.
That was like that World War II looking
Yeah,
uniform.
yeah.
I got out when it wasn't. It was green or blue, so I didn't have
Oh,
that. So
yeah.
when he walked in, I got emotional. I'm like, look at this guy right here.
Yeah,
Hold on,
mine
came
was,
back
let me
on.
mine
get
was
that
green.
parade rest.
It didn't blend in with nothing. It was,
Nothing, I'm just
I was like, this
outside.
ain't even camouflage because I can't blend in with nothing.
It's outside.
Got to get a new uniform just to go down range.
Definitely, yeah, for real.
So,
but
question for you, and I know we all been there. What inspired you to join
yeah,
the Blue?
Oh man, so Sigma for me started at probably a young age. I went to a parade at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Okay.
You know, they do their fan you homecoming
Mhm.
every year.
yeah,
A little young tyke. But I saw them then and I said, man, one day when I get to college, that's what I want to do.
right.
But then I went to Colorado. You know, the military sent me out to Cheyenne, Wyoming, of all places.
What is out
I don't
there?
know
Hey,
what
man,
that.
What's out there?
nothing.
What's the
Horses?
population?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Uh-huh.
But just, you know,
What are y'all doing out there?
once you date one black chick, you dated them all. So,
Got
so
it.
you good to go.
Wow.
So, you know, went to Colorado State University and I was hanging out with this dude named Danny. And we was just hanging out, chilling, vibing, and, you know, always a good time. Went out to the club one night and he just out of nowhere, just him and his, brother started strolling. And I was like, you in the frat? He was like, yeah, I'm a Sigma. I said, bruh, this is how I know I'm supposed to be a Sigma. Everybody that I'm cool with right here
That's how it
is
happened.
strolling right
Mhm.
now as Sigmas.
Mm.
And so I was like, all right, cool. So, but the one thing that kind of struck me more than anything was we all come from different walks of life. And you may look at somebody and say, oh, he a Q or he an alpha and be like, no, I'm a Sigma.
Yeah,
You couldn't define or stereotype us at that time
Mm.
for anything. So you may look at somebody and be like, he a little thuggish.
right.
Oh, he gotta be, he a Sigma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things where we just meshed. It didn't have to be fake. They didn't have to, like you said, recruit it in natural environment.
right.
I didn't have to come to you and say, man, you'll make a really good Sigma one day.
Right.
No, I just watch the way you move, watch the way that you work, and then like, hey, I'm having an interest meeting. If you want to come,
Right.
you should come
Right.
and check us out.
Mm.
It wasn't one of those things where you had to pull teeth to make people show up.
Right.
So I was
Mm.
like, yeah, that's what I gravitated towards.
Definitely.
So, were there any? Did you look at any other organizations, or it was just once you fell in love with Sigma, that was it?
So I looked at all the other organizations because you
Uh-huh.
want to do your research first before you join anything,
Mhm.
especially if you're going to be spending some money. You want to make
For
sure
sure.
that you track. I mean,
Right, for sure.
I paid a quarter of what you guys paid now to join.
I don't even want to talk
We
about. I'm
ain't-
still
we ain't
trying to recover from
yeah,
that. You
yeah.
know?
I think I paid $480 back
Stop,
then to
stop.
join Sigma,
Man,
and that was everything that you had to pay.
we paid a mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did look at because my dad is a member of Omega Psi Phi.
Oh,
Okay.
your dad?
So yeah,
Okay.
so he was a member of Omega Psi Phi, and so I was like, let me look just to see if I want to carry that legacy and that torch, and from there. But it's my Sigma story is kind of crazy. So, but the girl who I was dating, this girl was dating my would have been line brother at the time.
Yeah.
And she was a Delta,
Mm.
and she was real cool with the Qs. But then when I would get around them, it just didn't feel natural.
They ain't rock
So
with
I
you.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me go. Let me stay on the blue side
Right,
and
right,
make sure I do what I need to do to make things right. So
But you were still legacy coming in, though.
no, because he's not a Sigma, so it's
Mm.
more or less legacy if I had joined Omega
Okay,
Psi Phi.
okay.
But other than that, no.
Okay.
It's crazy because I wanted to be a Kappa. I knew nothing
Look
about
how he
Sigma.
looked at you.
Hey,
I did. I ain't gonna.
Look how you
I'm
looked
gonna
at
keep
you.
it 100.
Yeah,
I wanted
keep
to
it
be
a
a
buck.
Kappa,
Yeah.
like for real.
I mean, everybody do, man. They think the canes and the twirling and everything, they see it and it gets them. I'm not gonna diss no
Right.
other organization because they all are unique in
Right.
what they do and they
Divine
offer
Nine,
from
yeah.
there. But you obviously did the
No,
right
I'm
research.
I'm happy that I'm a
Yeah, that's what I'm
Sigma
saying.
for
You
sure.
did the right research
Yeah.
and did it from there. So chat, y'all heard it here
It
first.
took me a while to get used to the blue though. I'm not gonna lie, because red is my favorite color. So when I
Mm,
was putting on the blue, I was like,
I love blue.
yeah,
Yes,
blue,
I love
blue
Where I come
is
from, we love
everything.
blue.
Yeah.
I love
yeah, for
blue.
sure you love blue.
Yeah, I
Of
love
course you
blue.
do.
Yes,
Yeah, I
love
know.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pledge allegiance to blue.
I
Oh,
bet.
boy.
But I'm
Blue.
super
I know who
happy.
to take with me when I go to Cali. then.
Definitely.
Yeah, for
They
real.
know what
Yeah.
time- I'm from Long Beach. They know
I'm
what
not
time it
going.
is. Yeah, see the hat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, man. You are a great example. You are, and
For sure.
you know, I was telling my dad, like, when I was coming through the military and then coming through my educational journey, I didn't get approached until a couple of years ago by another fraternity. I'm not going to drop no names, but they treated me poorly. And I'm not a little boy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a kid coming through the situation, right? I think that's, not to jump into it, some of the problems with the fraternities when you get grown men coming through the situation, right? You have to respect where we come from and understand that we have kids too. We have a life. I was already retired in the military, already working on my master's, going to my doctorate. So I didn't think that you needed to treat me like that, right? Not saying that you was trying to haze me, but this guy would come into where, first of all, I just fell at my lowest level. I lost my company, went bankrupt, and got a job as a janitor, right? So that was already a struck to my ego. Then I wanted to do this situation, and he saw me at the car wash, and he said, okay, I'm going to do this. He came off to be a nice guy. But every time he came into my place of business, he would embarrass me.
Yes.
And where I come from and who I am and my statue, I laughed it off a few times. But then I said, you know what? You mean that.
Yeah, you're not going to
you're not going to do that to me. So, and then it went to a point to where my grandfather, he was a Kappa, my grandfather. And, you know what I'm saying? I started to think back, like, do I really want to follow his footsteps? I know as a doctorate and as a fraternity period. And I'm like, it almost detoured me from doing anything until I met you and Mr. Ali Broswell. And you guys, I knew from that moment on at the Q Conclave, when I saw that man in a blue suit in a sea of purple, I wanted to be a Sigma. Not because I love blue, but I love blue. But what y'all stood for. And then when I met you and I met Mr. Brooks, and I started meeting I said, this is me. Yeah. I don't have to be nobody else. This is me. And then when I saw you in Daytona and you just showed love to me, it was no like, you ready? Hey, whenever you're ready, I got something for you. Come through this, but don't go through this, but go through this, right? Yeah. So we took your notion and took your advice, and now look, spring 25, we crossed, and it makes me emotional because it's like, I'm not trying to fit in.
No, you don't.
But this is part of my value now, and I brung value to it. And what you told us the other day at the restaurant Red Lobster, y'all recruited us, and that made me feel good because I knew that I'm somebody. Right? Yeah. A lot of these people get into these situations and they're nobody trying to be somebody. And like you said, you wear the colors to be somebody. The colors don't define me.
No.
I know who I am. I just want to be a part of something that understands that when I bring my value to it, that we all come together as a brotherhood and service and scholarship. Not to preach, but this is what we learned from you. So can you elaborate on that?
No, I think just with recruitment is key in how you do it. You don't want to recruit just because I raise my hand and say, hey, man, I want to be a Sigma.
Right.
No. We have our motto and we have the things that we stand for as an organization. I got to make sure that your values and your beliefs are going to match that because then if you come in and it doesn't make sense to you, it's going to be friction. Now, I don't want a lot of yes men or like-minded, some individuals always around me either because then I'm not going to grow and I'm not going to expand. So when you recruit, you look at that. You should establish a needs-based kind of thing on, hey, we need this for the chapter, or we need these things. We need to recruit based off of that. But then also, sometimes you're at an event, somebody speaks, and you can just hear in the way that they're speaking and the way that they're carrying themselves, like, hey, that brother will make a very good Sigma. But instead of coming to you and saying, hey, you should join Sigma, I kind of approach it differently. Hey, I got this event coming out. Come and hang out with us. We're going to have a happy hour. Come hang out with the brothers and see if you mesh and get from there. Because then once you cohesively fall into what we have going on, for you now, like you said, it's not me recruiting you or seeming like you signed up for something you didn't know what you was getting into.
Right.
Now you've signed up for it and you're like, hey, this is what I want to do. You went through, your membership intake process and now you're going to hit the ground running and start working. It's not a thing where I had to force you to do it or pull teeth and do all the other stuff. So that way it makes it more valuable. So you want to recruit based off of, kind of the needs, the person's character, but then also their values and beliefs. I got to get to know you.
Right.
I can't just pull Joe Smo off the street and say, hey, I'm make you a Sigma. And then you get here and I'm like, I hate you. Like I don't even like this dude. Like this dude, I wouldn't even get this dude the shirt off my back.
Wow.
That's not what we're supposed to be doing. We got to uphill. Brotherhood being one of our principles. I can't recruit you and then now tell you to get away from me.
Right.
Don't want to pour into you and make sure that you're doing the things and learning the things that you need to for Sigma.
Right.
Because then if you're out here walking around, you represent me.
Right.
So if you go somewhere and tell somebody, yeah, Daniel recruited me. Oh, Daniel, state director of Florida?
Yeah.
And then you mess up. I'm going to get the phone call. Hey,
Right.
Daniel, what you doing down there, man? You got this guy walking around here. He don't know this. He don't know that. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. So recruiting is very good and making sure that you're out in the community. You know, we can't just be walking around talking about community service or doing those things. But, you know, I make it a notion to make sure that everybody who's somebody in the city kind of knows who at least I am or what we're doing. You know, that's how we got the Conclave here. You know, Sherry Brown being at Visit Tampa Bay, the mayor, you know, and she walks into a room, she can say, oh, hey, Daniel, how you doing? You know, commissioners, you got city councilmen, you got people that are working from there, even the previous mayor, Bob Burkhorn. When he sees me out, he's like, yeah, man, when y'all having your next conference or when you having your next event? Those are the things that we got to do because that recruits for us on its own.
Wow.
You know, when the city says, hey, we got an opportunity, we need some guys to come in here and mentor these young men. Oh, go get the members of Phi Beta Sigma. They have a mentorship program.
Right.
Bring them in. Now we come in as a community and you may come to the event and say, hey, why does she always pick these guys? Let me go learn some information over here and see what these guys are bringing to the table. And that's what you want.
Right.
Because then, you know, you're going to be able to recruit the right people. I don't want to recruit you and then 2 years from now I can't find you. I want to recruit you and you're going to be able to pay your money and then be able to continuously be around and be financial and want to do the work.
Right.
Because I can't make you do anything. I can't go to your house and drag you off your couch and take you to the community service event, make you pay your dues.
Right.
No, we have to do the things that are right within the organization to make you want to do those things.
Right.
Because when you value it, it doesn't make, you know, it's not going to cause you any issue to pay or to do anything when you value what you're actually doing and putting the work in on.
Right.
And that seems like that's something that's really big that a lot of people join and then after that they disappear. Because I know they was talking about that once we was crossing and we was learning and stuff like that. They was like, please don't be one of those brothers who just wear the leathers and that's it.
Yeah, we call them shirt wearers. And I mean, you have them in every organization, but you get those people that do it and they want to do it for the clout. And they do it also so that they can think they're going to get girls. Or sometimes it's those people in high school that was picked on, didn't really rise to the occasion of being somebody. And now they put these letters on and they want to run out and be Superman.
Right. I ran into some of them guys already, too.
Oh, man, you run into them all the time.
Yeah, no, I have ran into them already.
And I always
and
tell
I'm telling
them.
them, too. So I'm telling you. I'm telling on you. I'm going to tell the state director.
Oh, they can call me all the time. You know, I'm one of them blunt dudes, which sometimes, you know, it rubs people the wrong way. Pretty, and then, like you said, I'm a little younger, so I want to do things a little differently. Not, you know, they'll be like, oh, we do it this way. And I'm like, why do we do it that way? Oh, that's the way we've always done it.
Wow.
Oh, well, you should have put it in writing when it was your way of doing it, because I'm going to put what I want to do in writing.
Right.
So that way it stays around afterwards, not just we do it just because, I hate running into those dudes. They've got to keep that status. This is their identity.
Right.
Sigma's
That's
not my identity.
Right.
That's all they got.
You know, I'm able to transition and to walk through things and people can say, oh, he's a Sigma, but Sigma is not going to be the one thing that I sit on and say, oh, Sigma is, how do I say it the right way? Like, you know, some people walk in and that's all they got. Sigma. They're going to be at every event. They're going to be at everything. I'm going to be at every event because that's what I love to do and the love that I have for the organization.
Right, definitely.
But it's not my identity to walk in and have my shirt on. No pun to you, but my shirt on, my shorts, my socks, my shoes, my hat, got the lanyard hanging out my pocket. My car is all blue and white. No, because I tell people all the time, if your identity is based on them seeing it, then you already messed up.
Right, definitely.
Like if I go somewhere and somebody says, oh, Daniel, he's a Sigma.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing Sigma related on sometimes.
Right.
But they know because it's represented from there. So you guys as neophytes, as we like to call you guys, we love it because y'all come in with that vigor. Yeah. Y'all got everything. Yeah. Y'all done bought all the shirts. Y'all make
look at my man. Look at my man. He got everything on right now.
Y'all make the vendors stock. The vendors love y'all every year. The vendors are like, hey, because we like, man, them vendors been selling the same shirt for 20 years. Yeah. But hey,
we love it.
But
y'all first time seeing it.
It's like a private coming through, going to the store after 6 weeks of AIT. When you go on that PX, you get everything.
So it's like, you know, those are the people that come in, and so we get on our neophytes a lot and say, oh, well, go do this or go do that. But I want you to do what you're passionate about. Right. So come into the organization and do something different, like this. This could be a way that Sigma continues to get its message out there through a podcast.
This will be the way.
It could be something new that nobody's done within that digital age to continuously push us out there. Yep. We have to be able to reach people where they are, not try to break down, you know, and do something that's been done since 1975. If it works, yes, continue it.
Yeah.
But also we have to always be looking to grow and to change and to move with the times, because that's also recruitment.
You hear that, chat? We will be at the Conclave, and we will be hosting our podcast, and we will be following the state director around and giving information and understanding and learning. And you know what's crazy is I'm not to change the conversation because I know Keem got a lot of questions. But let me give a shout out to Brother Mount. That guy know everything. He knows so much, and when he talks, I shut up, just like you and when Mr. Braswell talked. When Brother Mount talks, I'm part of his chapter. He knows, and if he don't know, he go find an answer and dig it up like a dinosaur. He know everything.
Zany is the reason why I know everything in the organization.
Shout out to Brother Mount.
And the thing with Zany and Brother Mount or Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow. I don't know that.
Mellow Yellow, yeah.
I know. Mellow Yellow. I'm scared of Brother Mount. He's uncle right there.
But Zany will definitely give you everything. He's not a gatekeeper.
No, he has.
He don't make you have to reach this level before you can open this door and do all of that. He's gonna give it to you. And that's the dudes that I surrounded myself with. So like him, Honorable Brother Sidney McCrae, Honorable Brother Ray Smith, Honorable Brother Roy Edmonds, Dr. Farmer, a lot of those guys I would go to the conferences with, and we'd ride. You know, we'd be in the car 5, 6, 7 hours going to a conference. And, you know, I didn't want to just sit in the car for 7 hours and talk about Sigma. It was more or less, hey, let's get to know each other. Let's talk about all these other things. Yeah. There's some of the people you ride with, and it's Sigma story after Sigma story. And I'd be like, bro, do you do anything else in your life?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Like, doing your wife go somewhere? Yeah. Do you and the kids go and get out and about? Do you have anything interesting at your job? Like, bro, I don't want to talk about Sigma for no 6, 7 hours.
Right.
So seeing that from them guys, but they also would take time to tell the stories of why we do certain things the way that we do. So then it helped me to learn. So now when I speak, sometimes people are like, man, you only been here 15 plus years? Yeah.
I know that.
And they be like, bro, I swear it seemed like you've been here longer. It's like, no, I'm going off of a story Zany told me to address this and then going from there, because I now know the history behind it of why it is the way that it is, and to be able to go. I mean, I've met every last one of our living presidents, like from that we have in Sigma that are still alive. Like, that's because of Zany. Like, I used to walk into a room and they'd be like, oh, where you at in Tampa? You know Zany Mount?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I ain't know Zany was.
He connected.
I didn't know he was popping like that at first.
His Wi-Fi is on. Deep.
But once he starts speaking, I'm like, he know everything.
No, his reach is deep.
Oh, man.
He know his bag is crazy.
Yeah. Zany, you walk into some places and you can say Zany's name and it's gotten there. So now it's good, because now I get that effect sometimes. You in Tampa, you know Daniel? And I'm like, that's because of Zany. Literally, I would go everywhere. Like, I haven't missed a regionals, a state, a leadership. I missed one conclave because I had a baby on the way, and it was like within weeks of. But from there, I've never missed a conference since I came into the organization.
And we try to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah,
so I mean, I know some people will say, "Well, it's a lot of money, it's this," but our conferences is where you really get to meet brothers from around the country, and that's where you learn everything. You get all your training. Yeah. So then sometimes you come back here and you got these brothers that ain't never been nowhere, and they be like, "When did that change? Why are we doing this now in the fraternity? Why are we doing this?" And it's like, bro, we learned this at the conference, and we come and go from this, or this new policy like conclave. Yeah. When we have our conclave next week, it's going to be a lot of changes that's going to get voted on. And so now I'm going to be able to sit there and be like, no, I was there. This is the vote that was done. This is the people that argued against it. And then you get your funny moments at Conclave. I mean, one y'all probably seen on YouTube, and I'm shout out to him. I know he's running for international president, but Brother David Turner, who's our current international first vice, had a funny moment in Houston where a brother stood up, which actually that brother lives here now, Honorable Brother Gilbert. And the rule was, is you're not a delegate, you can't speak. And so Brother Gilbert went to the mic to say, is that brother a delegate? I want to make sure the person speaking is a delegate. So then Brother Turner said, are you a delegate? He said, no. He said, so you broke the rule to enforce the rule? Bruh, the whole room went crazy because they like, you got up to make sure we was following the rules, but
you not
you
even
going
delegate.
against the rules
Yeah.
and ain't even so. You get those moments at Conclave. There's some other ones I won't share here. I can get with y'all
Yeah,
offline, but
definitely.
it's some, it's a crazy
Yeah.
chance.
So speak on what is Conclave,
Conclave, yeah, let's
for
talk
the
about that.
viewers,
Yeah.
for the chat, you know what I'm saying, so they
Chat
know
wanna
what.
listen to that.
Yeah, so Conclave is similar to kind of like Congress. It's your legislative session. So your delegates come from around the country. Each chapter gets one delegate that will come, and then you have your regions. We have our 7 regions within the fraternity.
Right.
All of their chapters come. But that's the chance where everything that's going to be changed in the fraternity constitutionally, all of those things are done there within front of the delegates. So, yeah, sometimes it seems boring because we're sitting in a session all day listening to reports and those things. But as a delegate, that's when you enforce your chapter's voice. And so in that moment, the new laws per se of Sigma are being rewritten or being changed. We get new presidents, we get new officers. All of those things happen during that session. So you kind of look at it like your legislative session. Now, we don't have two sides. You don't have your Democrats and your Republicans. We are one.
One Sigma.
And one Sigma from there. But you do have people that have their, political viewpoints on what they're trying to get done within the organization. Sigma has its politics. I had to run for this office.
Right.
I had an opponent. We ran a good campaign, but sometimes it be some mudslinging. But like I remind people at the end of the day, you got to see me after I win or lose. But if you threw some mud and it wasn't the right way, you got to see me still.
Got to see us
at the end of the day.
That's what I like. That's the talk I'll be talking about. Come see me. Come
You
see
got
me.
to see it. 'Cause I remind some people sometimes, we don't get paid for this.
Right.
I don't get paid as the 29th state director of the state of Florida. I have a budget that I can travel around and do things, but I don't make any money. I don't have a revenue. This is not a revenue stream coming from me. I do this because I'm passionate about it, and it's what I want to do. Yeah, I want to serve, and then I saw that, hey, we need to shake things up a little bit, change the trajectory of what we're going. No offense to some of the other guys came before me, but we had a lot of older guys sit in those seats, and I'm like, no, we gotta switch some things up and shake the room up and work it from there because Sigma's been here
for a long time.
And in order to continue it to go there, we need guys that come in with fresh ideas, new things that you want to see done. So that's why I love this so much, and you guys is fire because it's like y'all bring a different perspectives to everything. My boy Keem killing it with recruiting and everything that I see here. And then we got the hood motivator who I can probably tell your story as many times as I've heard it when your speeches and go from there. So it was funny because when you came to Ali's event that he had in Orlando, I went outside and Brother Nimitz like, you didn't want to hear the brother speak? I said, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I said, I didn't want to be standing behind the screen saying what he about to say because I know his first story when he gets started. I said, before he gets into the motivating. And Brother Nimitz said, no, you can't. So I challenged him. We went back in the room and I was sitting in the back mouthing. I was like, he going to do this. Then he going to do that. And then this. Now he into his story. And then Brother Nimitz was like, have you seen him speak that many times? I was like, I have been in the room, and he has not known I was in the room that many times to where I know when he does his setup, he's going to tell his story first before he starts motivating. And he was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's why we recruited him because you've seen him around. He's giving the same thing every time and going from there. And then this guy, he don't even know the many times I've seen him like out and about, but in his uniform. Like I was like, when I first saw him show up with some clothes, I was like, oh, he fly. Okay.
I
gotta put it on. But I was like, he got to get out that uniform. That's why he got to put it on and work it from there. So it was those things that led you to see because plus I don't like dull.
Right.
You got to have some personality.
Right, you got to,
Because when we riding on the road for 5-6 hours out at community service, bro, and you talking about Sigma the whole time, I'm sending you home.
Bro,
I'm sending you home.
This reminded me of a story when I was a general driver, and I was driving from Louisiana to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I think it was like a 5-6 hour drive. So the aide to camp didn't like me talking to the general. I don't know why, but every time I try to talk to the general, he'd be like, I'm like, he human, bro. What you mean? I'm bored. I'm driving. So I drove for 5 hours.
Not saying nothing.
No music, no one talking, just counting the dots on the road, bro. So I understand what you mean, just being quiet in your thoughts.
I'd have pulled over and told that aide to get out. I'd have left him on the highway.
Listen, bro.
Hey,
I think
sir,
he was trying
I'm
to put
sorry.
a little cap on you. Like, let me just talk my mind.
Yeah,
from
but
the bottom. He's from the bottom.
He,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
messed
The
up
general
though,
would
because
hear that.
I got real close to the general.
Right.
He was tight.
He didn't like that,
we started
yeah.
talking about like sports, and he was like, "You like sports?" I'm like, "Matter of fact, sir, yes, I do."
Yeah, definitely, yeah, for real.
And he
But
was
that's how it goes. And that's what I tell people, man. Y'all pay y'all's dues the same way I pay my dues. There's a respectful way to do it, and yes, you have your, your decorum and those things that you are going to utilize.
Right.
But nobody's off limits. There ain't nobody I'm gonna be like, hey, don't go talk to him.
Right.
Now, when you go talk to him, your history and everything else need to be on point, because he may come back and be like, oh, so when did you join?
Yeah.
And if you messed that up. I've been to an event before where the person stood up and asked me a question. I was like, oh, what chapter are you a part of? He was like, oh, I crossed at, bro, you don't know your chapter? But that's the things that, as neophytes, it kind of jogs you at that moment, because you're standing up and you're like, oh, I got to go to the mic and stay this. So it's more or less making sure you're equipped for that. That's why chapters during that process have to make sure that, we're going to teach you the modules, but also, hey, let's do some exercises showing you on how to move these motions forward, how to talk and navigate when you go into the room. Because if you go out and now you say, oh, I'm a part of the Xi Sigma Sigma chapter, I'm going to be like, you a part of the what?
What is that?
Yeah, I never heard
Why
of
would
it.
you say that?
What?
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm going to correct you.
They have one of those chapters.
Yeah.
You're the Sigma Xi Sigma chapter.
That's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll get from there. But, you got to have those trial by fire. But that trial by fire should come from us.
Right.
Not somebody else out in the street or out in the public trying to do it. No, we take care of that internally. And then, now when you walk out of there, because you're an image of us.
Right.
Reflection. When you go somewhere, they're going to say, no, I say image, because I don't even say reflection. Because when people meet you, sometimes that's the only Sigma they're meeting.
Yeah, definitely.
So while it's not a reflection, it's the image that they're seeing going from there. So if they saw you slap your girlfriend in the middle of the street and they've never seen Sigma before at all, that's what they're going to associate it
I like that. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, so that's why I know some people say reflection. Only reflection we are of our founders is how I see it. Because for some people, when I go home to the hood or go home to Bainbridge, Georgia, and yes, we have a hood in the country. Yeah. But when I go home, don't nobody else know what Sigma is.
Yeah.
So the image they're seeing, that's the first thing they seeing. So if I ain't shit, just to be honest, then they're gonna associate that with everything that I'm doing for Sigma. Dang, they chose him.
Right, definitely.
And we got some of those members too who we look like.
So question real quick. This is off topic.
Oh,
chat, this off topic.
What a hood look like from where you from?
Yeah.
There's like cows and raccoons and a bunch of hay and stuff. Like what?
I know what kind of car you drive.
I'm just saying.
And I know your address and everything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. What does the hood
and why
look
you
like
may
to
say
y'all?
I joined the Chair Force or the Air Force.
Yeah.
I got some training on me.
Okay, my bad. My bad. Yo, look, no beef.
But
no beef,
we
no
got
beef.
projects and everything just the same as y'all. As I know you. Wait, that's how I know he from New York.
Yeah,
he from up north. Because there he go with that that BS. But no, we got the same thing. I mean, you got gangs, you got all of that's there. It might be funny because I know your mama and your auntie and your,
What you
I
doing
know
out
all
here?
of them too.
Yeah.
And we beefing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it
is
still is what it is. You from the west. I was from the west side.
Yeah.
You from the east side.
Yeah.
It's working from there.
I just wanted to ask
so
that.
nah, you still got it.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know.
He was curious, Curious
Yeah.
George.
Hey, 229, don't come looking for him. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm good, bro. I don't want no beef, man.
None.
Change man.
He's a vegan. No beef.
Yeah, look.
No beef.
Hey, so as a state director, right? What is one of your proudest moments?
Oh man, my proudest moment was that cruise.
I knew you was gonna say that.
That one cruise I saw on the social media.
Man,
while I was on that boat.
that was our
Instagram,
proudest.
like,
that was my
gosh.
proudest moment, and it
Talk to
it
us
wasn't
about that.
because of
They told you
the
couldn't do it.
pictures that we did it. It was because some people told me I couldn't do it.
I heard the story. Tell us
They
about
told me that man, ain't nobody gonna pay for the cruise. Brothers ain't got no money. Brothers ain't gonna want to go. Our collegians ain't gonna be able to go. All 16 of our collegian chapters was represented on that boat.
Wow.
All of them went.
Let's talk about
We
it.
took 302 people on the cruise.
Look at that.
248 brothers and their guests that we took on the cruise. And then the cruise paid us
to
go on the cruise.
Self-promotion.
Crazy.
Yes. So we only charge brothers what it costs to go on the cruise ship. We didn't charge them anything extra, no registration, anything, because we were getting that money back, and we came back with a $15,000 check.
So
that
you got
we
paid.
got from it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
From the cruise. But it was when people said, oh man, it's not gonna happen. Ain't nobody gonna go. We gotta stop calling our brothers cheap.
Right.
When you value something and you see the value in it, they're gonna make it happen.
But your brothers ain't cheap, especially with the registration we got now.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. But
that
a
ain't
lot of
cheap.
times we say that's still cheap because other organizations are paying more.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard,
and so we but we can't label and say brothers don't want to spend that money. No, if you can put some value to it. My proudest moment outside of that, I mean, it's still gonna be the cruise, but was when a collegiate came up to me on that cruise and he gave me a hug, and I was like, oh, this boy's seasick. He's scared or something.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I just want to thank you. Because for the first time, I haven't had to be like, where's McDonald's? Where's Wendy's? Where's this at? So I can go get something to eat because I couldn't afford to pay for the stuff that was there.
Right,
Or it's 6 of us in a room doing this. He said, man, I had 6 bowls of cereal at breakfast this morning.
Man, look at God.
He said at lunch, I was able to eat whatever I wanted and go from there. So you had to look at it from that perspective, because now he went back in his chapter's like, when you doing the next cruise? Because now everybody in the collegiate chapter is like, we got to go on the next one. That we made sure that our collegiate brothers, while yes, they are younger than us, we make sure they came and they had a good time. We put drink packages on some of their rooms and some of the things that they were able to do. But those guys, they stayed together the whole cruise, had a phenomenal time. But then that picture on the steps,
that was dope.
That was iconic, bro.
In the suit, and then being able to sing the hymn in the foyer right there, and all these guests on the cruise ship.
I know everybody was looking like,
what are they singing? What are they doing? But all these black educated men in suits,
come on now,
left over right, singing our fraternity hymn on that cruise ship.
What we doing
and doing it from there. Oh, I'm working on it.
I want to go.
I'm there.
I'm there.
Just let me know. I'm going.
Let me know. I want to go.
But yeah, it's first time in our history of doing a cruise on the ship and making it a conference. It was a conference as well. So definitely, that was my proudest moment.
I love that too.
So how do you balance it all though?
Yeah, because you do a lot.
Because you do a lot of stuff, man. Like
stop being humble. You do so much.
Talk about the
even
other
when
stuff
I'm around
you
you,
do.
I just hear you call after call, clicking over, meetings, Zoom, and I'm like, this guy's all over the place.
You got to balance that, family time.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? Because a lot of us struggle with
work-life balance.
Work-life balance. How do you manage all that?
It's about having a schedule and really staying to it, but then also making sure that your family and everything else is supported the way that they need to be and that they understand, too, what you're doing. Because, sometimes you give up certain things. But one thing I can say is I've never missed anything important that my daughter has been doing because I'll be like, hey, I'm not going to that. And it's also about being able to say no and not feeling sorry for saying no. Like I don't say unfortunately or I'm sorry, but no. That's the thing. No, I can't do it. No, I can't get there, and I can't go from there. But it's more or less about, one, setting a clear-cut schedule, and then your team.
Okay.
Like I have a great team that's around me. I mean, DC as my assistant, Tremaine as my chief of staff, Brother Braswell as my first vice. We got a great collegiate at second vice, and then before that we had Silas. Then being able to lean on Brother Edmonds and Zany and those brothers. It's about having that support system. So where now if I say, hey, Keem, I need you to take care of XYZ for this event, I can show up, but I ain't got to press you and check you 5, 6, 7 times on, hey, did you get this done? Did you get that done? I like to be able to just show up.
Right.
And I'm not like a micromanager. So once I put something, as long as there's clear communication, and I think that's the thing people get misconstrued with micromanagement. If I give you something to do and you never check in again, I might ask some questions along the way because you haven't communicated to me like, hey, we're on track, we're doing this, because a lot of times you have to do that with your leaders. You can't just say, oh, you told me the deadline was July 17th. Okay, so now what happens on July 17th when it's not done? Well, I had this roadblock, so you couldn't communicate because I may have been able to help you get past those roadblocks. So those are the things that you got to have those check-ins along the way. But having an amazing team is secondly how I get it. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, DC, I can't get on that call. And he'll be like, I got it. I'll get on and just let them know what you need. And then we migrate and go from there.
Shout out to the team.
Yeah.
It's crazy that team has been that. I had a vision.
Yeah.
And I called JR the day we crossed. and I was going to the club, so it was like 2:00 in the morning, right? So I'm like, yo, JR, I just had a vision, bro. God just sent me a vision. We about to put a team together. And team has just been like our main focus and slogan so far for the past few weeks. And everybody that we're running into, team has been coming up.
Yeah.
It's been the concept. And so it just feels good to hear that, because I know that we're going in the right direction, because we're building a team, and like we're a part of your team. You're a part of our team. You know what I'm saying? And this whole family organization is just love. And I just love to, you know what I'm saying, see that it's happening.
Right.
Yeah, no, you got to have a solid team. And then you got to have sometimes the person on the opposite side that was against you. Because sometimes that's going to be your most honest person in the room.
Right.
So that's one thing I did as well. When I got elected, I went and appointed people to my board that I know didn't rock with me. I know they didn't want me to be state director because, you know, they out there.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I said, I'm going to give you a position because I want you to watch this glow up
Yeah.
on the team.
Right.
I don't want you to see it from the sideline.
Right.
But then also, if we fail, you're playing a part in that, because now are you going to put your pride and ego to the side
And help me get out of
or
there?
are you going to actually put your effort to it and say, I didn't want him to be state director, but he was elected there, and now I'm going to support everything that's going to be there. Because we got to remember that, even in our chapters, if the majority votes on something, it's not your job to sit to the back to be like, that ain't going to work. No. Put your effort in, because when the event fails, it's not, if it was your event, JR's event, it's not JR's event failed. To the public and to everybody else who sees it, Sigma failed.
Right.
And so if you're going to be that person that sits on the sideline and says, oh, well, I told y'all that event wasn't going to work. It might have worked if you'd provided some input.
Right,
Yeah, and the
If
effort.
you had came to the committee meetings, if you had came to do this. A lot of times we let our pride and ego in the organization just stump us from growth, because we'll sit and say, that ain't going to work.
Right.
But instead of me trying to help you, I'm going to just sit over here because I don't really rock with y'all.
Right.
But when it falls apart, Sigma fell apart.
Right.
And to the public and everybody else who's seeing it, they don't know our internals.
Right. Right.
So now we show up somewhere in this, oh man, them Sigma boys suck.
Right. And that's the team. And not to change the subject, because, you know, team is important. Like Keem said, for a while we were talking about the team. Sigma's the team and understanding what part you play in the team. But now I'm the person that brings this into, like, how's your mental, you as a state director, and who's helping you with that? Because I know as men and as black men and as the heavy load that you carry, sometimes we don't stop and check in like, hey, Brother Smith, state director, how are you doing? No. Put Sigma right here. How are you doing? Because there can't be a Sigma without you, right? Because you join and you're a part of it. Sigma gonna still run, but you are adding value. So who's adding value to that, and who's helping you with your mental? Because I know we all retired veterans. He's still active, and we're not gonna sit up here and act like we don't have this situation. We talked about it driving. Yeah. I know I deal with that. So now I'm attaching myself to you. Who's helping you with that mental, and how can we help you with that to push forward to overcome this heavy week that we about to embark on?
Oh man, I can't wait for the 21st or the 20th.
Yeah.
To get here.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good question. Like I told you when we first met, you asked that. A lot of people don't ask that question. Right. They just see us and think that everything's all well put together. But I tell my story of dealing with anxiety and depression.
Right.
And people, know it. I get anxiety anytime before I speak.
Right.
Nobody sees it. But, bro, I'll be shaking like a stripper. I'll be shaking like a leaf, blowing in the wind through a whole storm. On, getting ready to speak or doing it. Even when I'm about to address our sisters of Zeta Phi Beta, in my head, I'm going through it because, with anxiety, we create this disaster mentality. But it's brothers like Isaiah Jordan, who's here locally. Yeah. He's a collegiate who I was his advisor.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of funny because he calls in and checks on me. Yeah. You got Timothy Crutchfield. Okay. Who used to be in the military, but he's up in Jacksonville, and he'll call, and the first thing he says is, "Sir, how are you?"
Yes.
He don't ask me nothing else about what's going on, and then it's just, it's a lot of other people that I can name that go there, but they literally check. And there's a brother, Woods, as I call him. When we go to conferences, it's like he's in my head. I'll literally be sitting somewhere, and I'm like, bro, I didn't eat today. And here comes this brother around the corner. Hey, man, went to the soul food spot up the road. I figured you would want this or that. Yeah. Or I'm like, or he'll see that I'm tired and he comes with a Red Bull or something. I'm just like, dude, I ain't even say nothing to you. And he's like, And he said it one time. He was like, man, I got to take care of the people who's taking care of this organization.
Right.
He was like, it ain't about, whether I, just because you're the state director. He's like, no, I see you as a brother working hard. And I'm like, I ain't doing it. I couldn't do what he do.
Right.
So I'm going to make sure I take care of the brother that's actually doing it. And I'm just like.
Add me to that list. I'm going to always check on you.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
motive,
For
that's,
sure.
Keem tell you, that's what I do, because who's providing that overhead coverage? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get too deep, but I'm going to get deep because we only got a few minutes left. But that's what we going to do. And at the end of the day, don't take it a certain way. I'm not trying to call you and check up on you like that. I'm trying to make sure, are you good? Because if you're not, I might pull your coattail. I grew up in the church. And I'm going to ask you, and if I got to carry you mentally or physically, we will do that, because that's what we do with each other. And I feel like a lot of us don't, because the title you have, a lot of people are scared to even approach that situation. You're a man just like me. But at the end of the day, if I don't pour into you, how you going to pour into thousands of these people?
Yeah, and that's the thing that's key. And that's why I tell people, I don't, like, my phone, as you've seen, phone blows up 24/7. And a lot of times it's all about what I can do for them. Sometimes people call me and say, I know you're at work, but, and then go on this whole tirade.
I saw that.
And I'm just like,
I thought you was at work. What's going on?
Yeah. Like, you just said, I know you're at work, but, and then you still went on about your problems. And then sometimes they call me and say, I got a quick question. They ask me the question, they answer, and then they get off the phone. Never, hey, how's your day going?
Yeah.
How's this going? And I'm just like, okay, I got it. I'm a servant. I'm a servant leader for you. So let me do what I need to do and work on it that way.
And I will say, before we end, I like Keem ended, is from my part, is I'm proud of you. And I know you don't hear that a lot, because you're where you need to be at. God put you there. But don't stop what you're doing, because you're inspiring guys like us that just came in, but we not new. We seasoned, and we see what you're doing, and we want to honor you. And I'm giving you your flowers and your respect this week. Give all that to God, because what's about to come in and transpire, I told you the other day, I said, I see you as an international president. It gives me chills, because I know how you move. You told me, slow down. I'm like, no, because the team that you're building is the team that on the outside, me and Keem got the outer court on. And we're going to pull that rear security for you, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We love you, and don't stop. And the Conclave is coming, and we appreciate you putting us in position to be the personalities for the podcast of the media group. And I know Keem got something to say. So
the last question.
I love you, bro.
Oh, I appreciate you, man.
I'm going to say I love you too, man. And thank you for everything.
Yes.
So I'm going to just end it on a good note. Who you think got the better strolls? The old heads or us,
The wiggle legs.
Us neos and stuff like that. So who you think?
I'm going to say the old heads. And the reason I say that is because now, everybody, they doing too much.
Too much. The wiggle legs, the wiggle?
I don't mind the Sigma walk and all of that and the wiggles. I don't mind that. It's when, we start mimicking and looking somewhat like the other organizations.
Gotcha.
And then it's a whole story on that one. We'll have to get that another time. But we kind of was, the first on that.
Okay.
But it's just more or less on keeping it concise, because you're just moving through a crowd and making sure they can see you.
Right.
Sometimes the people look at you and now you done did it.
They don't see that.
And then now they stroll the songs that, I should be out here on these women right now.
Right. They dolo.
When Juvenile back that ass come on,
I
ain't trying to stroll.
Talk to them.
I'm trying to get to a wall. I'm trying to get to a wall or something and back it up.
I think that's our generation, though.
I'm trying to back up on something. Now she got to move out the way because you
come on, man.
So you gonna be strolling Conclave?
Yeah, I stroll.
I'm strolling with you there. I'm following you.
Okay, because I gotta get my.
You know what I'm saying? Do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, anybody out there watching that?
You saw that?
Hey,
I don't know who told you that. Hey, I'm practicing.
That is not it.
That is not it. I'm practicing.
I'm gonna get in the lab with him this week.
Get him right.
Make sure he gets to go.
I just got here.
That ain't no excuse.
Get him right.
I just got here.
Hey, Keem, I want to say, man, this is your show, Shake the Room. I'm proud of your growth.
Yes,
let's continue to keep going, man. We attaching ourselves to you, so don't push us away.
Oh no,
we right here with you. You
I
with
just
me?
hope y'all ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We ready.
I'm ready.
Hope y'all ready.
Do your thing, King.
Hey, so do you want to, have any like final remarks for the chat? Tell them about
Conclave
what
is
you're going to
coming.
be.
They want to hear from you.
Your at name on Instagram, how they can follow you and stuff like that.
I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at DJS1914.
Right there.
I'm not a DJ. I get requested my DM sometimes for DJing gigs and stuff. But DJS1914 on Instagram. But the most important thing I'll say, man, is, and especially for any of my brothers out there, is just to realize, man, do it for the passion. You all came to this organization with a unique talent. Apply that unique talent to the organization and work it from there. A lot of times we think passion goes along with your job. No, whatever you're passionate about, there's a way for you to do it within this organization and apply that, and then let that be your growth and your growth model to the platform that you go off of to build and within the organization. Because we can always do something new. Right. We can keep it moving from there. So that'll be my final thing, is just always elevate. You guys just came in, keep growing, keep learning though. And then if you find something that you don't know if it's true or not, ask an older brother first before you just run with it. Because I see people all the time get on social media. We were the first to do.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's roll that, bro.
That's roll that.
Where can you get it?
Definitely.
So that'll be from there. So always keep learning, keep growing, and do what you feel is passion. Do with your passion in this organization. That will lead you a lot further.
Right.
All right.
I just found out too. We got one more thing in common. We graduate with our doctorate in 2027. So. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Dr.
congratulations.
Smith,
Look at y'all. Look at y'all boys.
You know what I'm saying? Flex on a little bit.
Look at y'all.
Dr. Smith coming soon.
I'm going to get my honors.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. You're going to go speak at somebody's graduation?
Yeah. Somebody's going to give me mine. Yeah. I'm just. That's how I'm going to do mine.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, but that's all the time we have. Thank you again for, blessing us with your time and your wisdom and everything. And like I said, man, I love you, man. Appreciate you for everything. That's another time that we got. Shake the room.
5.
You
know. We out of here, baby. See us at Conclave.